All right, so the first exercise we're gonna do is gonna be a back extension. You're gonna be facing down with your belly on the floor, knees on the floor. We'll start with your big toes touching, knees squeezing together, and the toes are gonna lift up, flexing the ankles, pulling more with the pinky than with the big toe. Forehead starts on the ground. Big breath into the torso. Hands to the side of the ears, palms face down. When you're ready, lift the head straight off the ground, keeping the chin in, back of the neck long. Try to avoid adding weight to the hands and elbows. Keep flexing your ankles, squeeze your toes, squeeze your knees. Heels separated, legs rolling in, chin in, head up off the ground. When you're ready, elbows and hands come off the ground. Feel your back working. Retract the shoulders, depress the shoulders, external rotation. Shoulders back, shoulders down, external rotation. One big breath here, exhale, lower down, and pull back to child pose. So knees wide, big toes touching, sink the hips back, release the torso, head, arms, shoulders to the ground. Big breaths here into the low back. Stay low, walk your hands to the right. Increasing the stretch on the left side of the low back, mid back, maybe some stretch on the left armpit, and then get heavy here. Come back to center. Reset the spine long, stay low, and then go to the left side. Hips heavy, torso heavy, shoulders heavy. Deepen the breath. One more inhale here. Come back to center. Reset the spine. And we'll do one more anchored back extension. So I'm going into the ground, chin in, forehead starts on the floor. Zip up the legs. Feel the tension on the hamstring, squeeze the knees together. When you're ready, lift the head off the ground, chin in, head up, chin in, head up, chin in, head up. Elbows, hands off the ground, retract the shoulders, depress them, external rotation, big breaths here. Flex the ankles, squeeze the knees. Chin in. One big breath in. Exhale, lower down. Press yourself onto your knees. Walk your feet forward and bring yourself up to standing. Shake that off for a moment. Feet hip width apart, maybe a little wider. You're gonna start with your knees pretty much straight, not locked, not bent forward, knees almost straight over the heels. Hands on the same position, our short wing position. Make sure you're not dumping onto your back here. Lengthen the front, lengthen the back. Reaching up with the ribs, down with the shoulders. Getting the lower ribs up, away from the hips. And then we're going to hinge the hips back. As the hips go back, the knees go back as well. Keeping the upper body straight, lower body straight, hinging at the pelvis, at the hip. Hold it here, toes on the ground. Remember, toes in, heels out in this position. Come back up to standing. Right foot forward, left foot back. We're simply going to do a lunge decompression here. So front foot slightly turned in, back heel wider than the toes, straighten the ankles, knees almost straight, and then we're lengthening. Few breaths here, not dumping onto the back. Stay off the back and just decompress upwards. Retract the press. We're not locking that knee, just a micro bend. We're not locking the back knee, just a micro bend. Stepping forward to come off it, switch sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. Shake the knees. Even pressure big toe, little toe on the back foot. I'm bringing that back heel off the ground. I'm checking that front knee behind the heels. Check the alignment of the pelvis. Engage the upper body. Big breaths here. Retract the press, external. Keep bringing those ribs up, away from the hips. Big, wide breaths. Check the knees, check the back heel. And step forward. Shake that off. Okay, now we're going to integrate the hinge. So from the tailbone up, upper body is going to remain strong with that natural curvature. Lower body, pelvis, thighs. Keep those knees straight. We're going to go back all the way. Find the max range of motion. Hamstrings, glutes, paraspinals. Head pulling back away from the floor. Chin in. Lengthen the back of the neck. Find the edge. Come back 80%. Try to do it slow so you can really feel hamstrings loading. Make sure you actually feel your pelvis going back in space. All the way back, 80% forward. Resetting, shoulders, hinging back. You can squeeze the legs towards each other, inner anchor. You could squeeze the legs away from each other, outer anchor. Find the hamstrings, find the glutes, find the max range. You don't have to try to come all the way to this sort of parallel with the floor. Think of more of like a 90-degree angle. So you're coming from pretty much straight to a, 45-degree. Not a 90-degree angle all the way here, by keeping it 45 degrees and back to vertical. The hips go back, the knees go back. The hips come forward, the knees stay. The knees never go past the heel, they stay back. You want to pick up the pace here. You could do inhale back, exhale forward. You don't have to do them super fast, but if you do feel like you're getting a bit warmer down there, a little more engaged, a little more activated, then yeah, you could totally get a little more athletic through it, or just keep it slow and steady, noticing where you feel it, making sure that you're not softening through the spine extensors, that you're not letting the knees come forward. Just keep the hips back with the knees back with the hips forward. Maybe one or two more. And then from here, we're simply going to go back to the floor. And one more time, we're going to do a round of child pose with the side stretch. So toes together, knees apart. You can lengthen the spine here and then hinging at the hips, eventually folding. Arms come forward. And relax here. Big breaths. Walk the hands to the right. Get heavy to the ground. Back to center. Reset from the center, lengthen that spine, and when you're ready, walk the hands to the left side. Breathe in here, a couple more breaths on the side. And when you're ready, come back to center. Back to child pose. From this position, you can either stay here for another minute or so. You could count 5 breaths. You can count 10 breaths. You could again go side to side, right side, left side. You could also go into doing one more back extension with the belly on the floor. You can also repeat this video one more time. Or you can simply go on with your day. Good work, and we'll see you next time.